Assalamualaikum and good morning to my panel, Dr. Zafirah and Dr. Siti Radiatun Adawiyah. My name is Nur Atika binti Hanafi. The title of my project is Impact of Renting Premise to Foreigner. I will start my presentation with the introduction. With the rapid economic growth in Malaysia, many people from foreign countries are trying to enter Malaysia to do a business. The arrival of immigrants to Malaysia is becoming more widespread and increasing every year. Most of them rent a premise to run their business. The influx of the foreign premise in Malaysia affects several economic and social aspects of the country. I will move to the problem statement. Globalization increased the entry of foreigners to Malaysia. Foreigners come to Malaysia to fill job opportunity. The uncontrolled influx of foreigners had led to the dumping of foreigners in Malaysia. Some foreigners open their own business by renting out shop. The greedy attitude of some local also causes the foreigners to successfully open their own business. The aim of the study is to examine the strategies undertaken to reduce the rental of premise by foreigners. Based on the problem statement, there are two objectives of the study that have been listed. The first one is studying the effect that arise from the rental of premise by foreigners, and the second one is studying strategies performance for controlling the rental of premise by foreigners. The scope of study is only focus on the impact that occur and the strategies that need to be done to reduce the rental of premise by foreigners in Besut, Terengganu. And the limit of the study is does not limit to the certain rental, only in general. Significance of study for the government sector to find out method of control the negative effect of increasing the premise of foreigners. For the community is to giving exposures to the local community that they cannot rent their shop premise to foreigners without inspection. And the readers or researchers to provide exposures and reference materials to readers or researchers on this topic. In the literature review, there are several items based on the literature review that has been referenced by several sources. In this chapter, I have provided definition related to the study conducted, including the definition of business, rent, foreign nationals, foreign immigrants, and foreign workers. In this chapter, I also explain in relation of registration of business license. Next, the first factor from my literature review is the attitude of Malaysians who like to hire foreign worker. The second factor is marriage of foreigners with local. The third is granting of license from locals to foreigners. And the fourth is local support of foreigners product. We move to the effect of dumping of foreign premise in Malaysia. There are 5 general effects found through the literature review. The first one is increase in rental price of business load, competition in business, competition to own shop premise, competition in employment opportunities, and flow of money from within the country to abroad. Social effect will occur such as dumping of foreigners, the feeling of discomfortable of locals, and increase the crime rates. Action taken by the government. The government has made various efforts to curb these issues from continuous to spreads. Among the methods of the government has taken is to take integrated action. For example, the concerted action was taken by Yong Peng District Council on foreign trades, Pakistanis nation in Air Hitam with the Malaysian Immigration Department in October 2019. Through the operation, a total of 10 Pakistanis were detained for not having valid travel license and business without license Net 6 business license were investigated for action under license, trade, business and industry bylaws. The methodology for the study divides to 6 chapters. Chapter 1, the introduction. The introduction, identification of issue and problem, determination of objective of study, scope of study, significance of study, and methodology of study. Chapter 2 is literature review, definition of business, entrepreneur, rental, shop, foreign citizen, foreign immigrants, and foreign worker, registration of business license and shop tenancy, factor of shop opening by foreigners, type of business, impact and action by government to control. Chapter 3, data collection, primary data, interview with Besut District Council, residents representative and Association of Hawkers and Petty Trades Malay branch Besut. The secondary data is journal reports, newspaper and thesis. Chapter 4 is research area, shop premise operate by foreigners in Besut, Terengganu. Chapter 5 is data analysis, and the chapter 6 is conclusion and recommendation. From the interview conducted, then I analyze result and I use the metric methods to present the data. From the data obtained as a result of interview with the respondent, the awareness of the existence of foreign premise is 75% of respondents be aware and take care about the issues, and 25% just be aware but don't care about the issues. This shows that all respondents are aware of the existence of foreign premise, but there are 25% of respondents do not intervene because the premise rented by foreigners are owned by individuals. After I conduct an interview with the respondent, there are several factors that have been raised by the respondent that lead to the rental of premise by foreigners. The higher factor is opportunity of 37% opportunity, which is mean they can rent premise with anyone without a restriction. Irresponsible locals are willing to rent out their premise to these foreigners. The net factor is marriage and profit at the same percentage, which is to 25%. One of the important factors that made them dare to trade here, this is because they will use their wife name as the name of registers the license. The authorities have no rights to prevent if they use the name of the Malaysian's wife as the owner of the license. The profit factor also plays a role as the business will bring huge profit to everyone. Therefore, these foreigners will also find way and use various strategy to start a business and sustain their business in the long time. Next, the economic impact of rental of premise by foreigners. The first impact in prices by the respondents is the premise rental price increase. 62% of respondents agree that the price of premise increased after the occurrence by tenancy by foreigners, and 38% were insured. The increase in the rental price of the premise occur due to the willingness of foreigners to pay rent at the more expensive price than the local to the owner of the premise. Therefore, there are a gap between foreign trade and local trade. The second effect is competition in business by local trade and the foreign trade. As many as 75% agree and 25% were insured. This is because local trade have to compare with foreigners in various fields such as competition in obtaining premise rent, competition in obtaining customer, competition in obtaining merchandise, and so on. As the competition intensity, the income of local trade will also be affected. In addition, the impact of employment opportunity is affected. 75% is agree and 24% is unsure. Employment opportunity will be affected due to such as local are not comfortable working in foreign premise. Foreign premise owner prefers worker from their own citizen. And the last economic effect is increase in price of good on the premise of foreigner. 43% state the item they sold were expensive. 28 stated the item were cheap, and the remaining 29% are unsure. Social affected by rental of premise by foreigner. 87% agree that rental of premise done by foreigner would like increase social problem around the study area. 13% stated the problem was intangible because the number of premise was not too many. The net social impact is existing hygiene issue. 75% say the problem is tangible, and 25% say it is intangible. The strategy discovered from the economic: reduce purchase at foreign premise and support the local premise. Make a complaint to authority if the premise do not have a license. Bringing complaint by local trades. Monitoring of premise by trade association. Monitoring and enforcement. Arrest and punishment of those without a license. From the social, conduct a crime prevention program. Distribute crime leaflets to residents. Collaborates with the volunteer department, police and Besut District Council. Submitting crime meeting complaint and report to the authorities. Premise cleaners inspection. Make regular hygiene monitoring. Talk to the owners of the premise about the cleanness of their premise. Dialogue with the trades through random security campaigns and take firm action such as cease. Recommendation and conclusion: efficient monitoring and continuous operating by authority impose strict legal action on the owner who rent their premise to foreigners. Based on the writing of the reports from the first chapter and to the last chapter, in conclusion, the two objectives of the study that we set at the beginning of the study have been achieved. The first objective is effect of rental premise by foreigners from the economic and social aspect, and the second objective is strategies used to control the rental of premise by foreigners in Besut district. The whole study showed the respondents expresses a negative effect on the sum of the aspect studies, although some respondents stated a positive effect, but overall stated the effect of rental premise by foreigner has many negative effects.